Hello everyone. Let's not say everyone for this video. We will go with hello BSNL users with Vlan 1849. Okay, you must be struggling to use the voice feature of BSNL in SIP applications, right? And this video got you covered. So if you have watched our previous videos related to Vlan 1849, we would have said that you have to just change the voice WAN profile and then the SIP apps like Swiper will start working. But that method did not work for everyone. For some, they have to discard internet WAN, else it won't work. Discarding in the sense you have to delete internet WAN. And for some, they have to bind separate ports for internet and voice. And only for some Genesis platform 4410 devices with old firmware, it worked fine. That video is made on Syrotech type device, and if you have not seen it, there's a card above, have a look. And giving a thought concerning the above issues, I have tried so many methods for long, and I finally came up with a solution. And you will definitely, and somewhat you will like it. So let's get into the video. As usual, we will connect the device to laptop through LAN or Wi-Fi, and then we will open a browser. If you are used to it, you will know that you have to enter the gateway afterwards. So yes, enter the gateway of your device. I am using a Syrotech Single Band device. You can also use this video as a reference for similar type Netlink, Sharp, DBC, Electroline and such devices, because they use the same interface. They are all clones of a company called Vsol from China. So coming back, the gateway for this type is 192.168.1.1. After you enter the gateway, you will be directed to a login page, which prompts to enter a username and password, and also a captcha along with it. Enter it and press login. Once logged in, you can see the status page of the device. After that, click WAN information. See in WAN information, you can see that there will be an internet WAN and a voice WAN. With voice WAN, using the voice service profile, you can see in the screen itself. So this is the WANs where we will start our first setup. First of all, let's go to internet and enter internet WAN. We will remove the ports that are binded. Binded means there will be a tick mark. We will remove it and then we will apply. So as a second step, what we will do is we will go to the voice WAN profile, and under that we will change the service type from voice to voice internet, and make sure and the enabled net is ticked in the voice WAN, and also turn off LAN DHCP for voice WAN. Then it's done. Yeah, it's done, and voice WAN setup is over. So yes, after setting up the both WANs, remember, internet does not depend on one setting in modem. Alright, it depends on ISP, in this case which is BSNL, their devices, the connecting devices with the ISP use, and the devices from local vendors, and the carrier networks, modem settings inside the modem, the device you use internet like mobile phone, and the settings in the mobile phone itself. So minor changes in settings vary depending on devices. Why I said this is because just a second earlier I said that you must turn off LAN DHCP. For some modems, without turning off LAN DHCP also it will work. That's why I am saying all these things. Okay, coming back, since we have changed the voice WAN now, you will try to ping the SIP server to check whether this is enough or not, because only doing this setting made SIP work earlier, as I mentioned in a previous video. So as we have done the settings, let's go and check whether this setup is okay or we have to do much. I will go to search column in the device and enter CMD. A command CMD, which is a shortcut for command prompt, and open the command prompt that shows in suggestions. There is also a shortcut to open by pressing the Windows and R key. Yeah, after opening command prompt window, type ping and leave a space and then type your zip address. In my case it is tn.ftth.ims.bsnl.in since I belong to the state of Tamil Nadu. For other states it goes like KL, KTK, AP, UP, UPW, etc. To know the exact zip for your state, you can either find it in the VoIP column under the application inside the modem interface, or I have shared a message in our Telegram channel containing the zip for every states. You can look that also. Okay, after entering the zip, press enter. You will find that the ping fails stating could not find IP host. I think many of you know what this error message means. I mean, if you are into systems frequently, you must have known this. Those who don't know, please listen. There is something called a DNS. Its function is to change domain to IP. For example, if I am entering google.co.in in a browser, the DNS server translates the alphanumeric domain into a numerical IP address. So if I test ping in CMD, the error message that could not find the IP host appears. Then it means that the current DNS which is set up or which is automatically acquired could not resolve or translate the domain you entered, that is tn.ftth.ims.bsnl.in, into an IP address. So this particular place is where I figure out a solution for IMS type users. So here, kindly lend your ears. Now we need a DNS that can resolve the zip domain into an IP. Most of you must have guessed what you have to do now. A DNS which can resolve the zip domain is nothing but the DNS obtained automatically by the voice WAN. So you must have spotted it. To find it, go to status WAN connection information, and under voice WAN you can find it. There will be both a primary one and a secondary one. You will go with the primary DNS. You have either copy it or note down the DNS. Now you have to set this DNS in your device, right? In case of PC, you have to open control panel, go to network and internet, and then network and sharing center. Then trace the adapter settings. In adapter settings you can find Ethernet, and after entering inside the Ethernet you have to select the properties, then click IPv4. There will be two sections, one for alerting a manual IP and one for alerting a manual DNS. In this case we don't have to change IP. We will go with the manual DNS only. We will change with the DNS settings from obtain DNS automatically to manual. Then there will be two columns which will be visible. You can enter two DNS there, a primary one and a secondary one. Okay. Normally those who use internet, what they will do is select manual, and then they will give that Google DNS, which is 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4. In this case what we are going to do is we will set a primary one which we copied from the voice WAN, and a secondary as anything of a choice. So let me see. The primary DNS is one I copied from the voice WAN page, which is 172. And goes that like XXX. And the secondary one we will go with BSNL DNS, which is 61.1.1.1. Alright, okay. Now we can give apply, and the adapter will restart and function normally. For setting the same in mobile, you have to scroll down from the notification window and long press on the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi which you are connected to currently will be shown, right? Click that, and when you scroll down there will be a letter written DHCP. A little different things maybe in different mobiles, but yeah, basically there will be an option called DHCP. You have to click that and change it to static. And when you change it to static, there will be a gateway, and there will be an IP, and there will be a DNS option. There is no option to change it individually like in PC. If you are changing, you have to change it as a whole. So we will alert a manual IP for your mobile phone. Since gateway is 192.168.1.1, we will enter that in the gateway, and in IP we will enter as 192.168.1.10, or in place of 10 you can use any number like 11, 12, 20, 30, anything within 250. So now after entering all this, in DNS, similar to PC, set the primary one for voice and the secondary one for internet. Why I am saying to set the primary one for voice is that sometimes, in some cases, the SIP may fail. So set the primary for voice and the secondary for internet. This is the setting in mobile. And now let's come back to the PC. After we have changed the settings in adapter, now there's the next step. See, now the SIP domain can be resolved by the SIP DNS that we have set up, right? But what will the DNS connect to? It can't connect to internet WAN, right? So here comes the next step. We need to route any data that is trying to connect to the SIP DNS to the voice WAN. For that, we need to add an important setting called the static route. So first, in the status WAN information column, under voice WAN, copy the gateway mentioned. Copy the gateway mentioned under the voice WAN. Now go to internet, select router and static route. The first column is destination. So here, since the DNS server starts with 172.8 something, it goes like that. We will enter 172.0.0.0 in the destination window, and then in subnet we will enter 255.0.0.0, and in gateway, enter the gateway which we copied from the WAN info page, and the metric you can enter metric as 1. Okay, and also you can enter 0 if you are not configured landline at all, but yeah, it's preferred to enter 1. Select the interface as voice internet. Now apply. The static route will be applied. If you click view route, which is shown below this option, you can see that added static route on the table there. Now again open the command prompt window. Now enter the SIP address and try to ping. SIP address in the sense the TN.FTTH, the domain type SIP address. Enter it and you try to ping it. You can find that the domain is resolved into an IP address, but the ping still fails. When I say that the domain is resolved into an IP address, how to note down is that when you enter tn.fttx.ims.bsnl.in, at first what will happen is it will simply fail, and now what will happen is it will fail, but after the IP, after the .in, there will be a bracket which will show an IP address. This is the important step here, guys. What we have done so far is that we have made the domain to change into an IP through the device itself, through the laptop itself. Okay. This yes. Now as a last step, we need the IP to connect to the voice gateway again. So there is another option we have to add. Now what we have to do is we have to add another static route. See that IP in the CMD window, right? 10 dot something. Note it down, okay? And after noting it down, see it starts with 10, right? So note it down and then come again back to the remember where static route. Come back there, and now we are going to add another static route. So which will start with 10 with 10.0.0.0, and the subnet is same 255.0.0, and the gateway metric interface is also the same as the previous one. Now apply. Now when you click the routing table, you can find that two routes are added additionally. One which is 172.0.0.0, and the other one is 10.0.0. Now everything in the modem is set, guys, right? Now open command prompt again. This time again enter the SIP address. Again enter ping and add a space there, and enter tn.fth.ims.bsnl.in or anything that's your state. Now see, plus enter and see the magic. You can see that the ping succeeds. This is wonderful, right? After the ping succeeds, which means everything is set. The modem is set and the device is set. All you have to do is download a SIP app and start using. We will set in Cyper, because now I will show the procedure in Cyper because it indicates the process very easily, and also it is available for both PC and mobile. So if you see that in the PC, you can replicate the same in the mobile, and if you see the settings in the mobile, you can replicate the same in the PC, vice versa. So let's install Cyper first and open it. On the first page, it will ask to enter the username. The username is +91 followed by your area code or followed by your landline number. You can find your area code and landline number in the bill, or if you log in into your modem and which is already configured, and under application VoIP you can find that and the details. The password you can get it from the vendor or local exchange. The most commonly used password format in this type, this 1849 type, is FTTH at followed by last 4 digits of landline number. So if my landline number ends with 1234, my password will be FTTH at the symbol at 1234. So after entering the username and password, click login. In the next window, it will ask to enter a SIP address, followed by what you have to do is you have to enter the SIP address, which is tn.fttih.ims.bsnl.in in my case, and followed by the SIP address you have to enter a colon followed by 5060, which is the port. And when you enter this and click next, it will ask an option, but enable the outbound proxy and also enter the authentication username, which is same as the username entered at the first page, which is +91 followed by area code followed by landline number. And the outbound proxy is the same as the SIP address. Now you click next. The test will run, the usual Syrotech test, which will show UDP, TCP, etc. And SIP UDP will succeed, guys. Okay, if SIP UDP succeeds, the setup is over. You can start using VoIP. So in the Swiper app, there are some settings which appear for Swiper, which is in the next window. You have to set simple software settings like microphone, speaker, camera, etc. That's it. The setting is done. And what I do is I will usually call BSNL customer care for setting. For testing these things. See, I am dialing 1504 here. You can see that the call is connecting, and alternatively I dialed by trying different numbers also. Here you can see that call connects and you can speak. Now the settings over. See, let me summarize this with a quick. Let me summarize the entire video here. First, what you have to do is remove all the ports from internet and change voice band to voice internet type. At the second step, what you have to do is add a voice DNS found under voice band along with the internet DNS to your device adapter, which can be either mobile or a PC. And the third step is add a static route for DNS, which is 172.0.0.0. And the fourth step, add a static route for SIP address, which is 10.0.0.0. And the final step, set up the SIP application, and it's done, guys. That's the video. And I think there is another procedure which I discovered lately. After I have done all this, which works only for some devices. So in that procedure, what you have to do is, the first step is the same. You have to change the ports and all. Second step is also the same. You have to enter the voice band and all stuff. The third step is also the same. Enter the static routes. See, only thing is, instead of changing the settings in the adapter, you can go to while you are configuring the Swiper app, in the place of outbound proxy, you must have noted an IP in the CMD page, right? When you are trying to ping at the first ping, the second ping, where the domain resolves into an IP. So copy that IP and enter in the outbound proxy page, which means the SIP address will be the same, the domain, and the outbound proxy will be the IP. Both are same, but the one will be domain and the other will be an IP. So if you change the WAN and add the static route and do this setting in Swiper, this particular setting in Swiper, the SIP application works. But this is not working for every device. This is working for only some devices and some zones, particularly some zones. I don't know why. This is working, but this is also working. So there are two methods. One, for both the methods, you have to change the WAN, add a static route. But for one, you have to add a adapt setting in adapter. For the other, you have to enter a different outbound proxy. The resolved outbound proxy of the SIP address, and it will work. So thanks. I hope you are clear with the entire process. If you like the video, kindly press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any suggestions, please drop it in the comment section below. And if you need any settings, help in the settings, contact us through social media platforms like Instagram, Telegram, etc. Also, this is an important thing, guys. As a warning, If any of your vendor advertises this procedure as an additional feature and asks for extra money, don't fall for the trap. You can pay for setting it up, but it's not an additional feature. Okay, I think you understand. So finally, thanks again, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you and signing off. Bye.